Okay, so today I'm gonna tell you about how I try to keep up with all the debuts of the year, even though I always miss out some, with boy groups, girl groups, co-ed groups and soloists. For girl-boy mixed groups, I always look at the K-pop wiki website. They make K-pop debuts insert year here, lists every year for boy-girl co-ed groups and soloists, and even though they're not every debut, they always update it with debuts they find, till at the end of the year their list is complete. I also look at K-profiles, because they have groups listed and for the groups they put disbanded or pre-debut or something like that to know what's their status. They also have an A to Z boy and girl group list, groups, subunits, so I look at that and then see the profiles of groups whose names I've never heard of before and see if they're a new or an old group. They also have bands listed in that list if I remember correctly, too. I also recently started looking at the K-Indie Wiki, because I realized that exists too, and since I don't only rank K-pop debuts but every genre also as well, it's very helpful. I also look at K-Popping Now, because they list debuts that K-pop wiki doesn't list or maybe misses or I don't see on K-profiles or I haven't found on YouTube or anything else, so I get even further with debuts. Another thing that happens is that I get recommended the group's channel on my YouTube main page. That's how I discovered 50/50, when I got recommended their channel when they were pre-debut, and it happens sometimes, because I listen to Nugu songs a lot more than popular K-pop songs, so I get recommended new groups sometimes. There's also sometimes where I look at shorts that show upcoming debuts, mostly popular or known ones coming that I already know about, but there are times where groups I don't know get mentioned. Another thing I do, is watching K-tube channels who make videos where they rank monthly comebacks or show K-pop songs that you've missed and I find new debuts of groups from there. Like there's this channel I'm subbed to, their name is Dia800, it's Dia with a number after it, but I forgot the exact number, and when they make monthly rankings, I sometimes find songs I haven't heard about, and even debuts too. I discovered Fevers, a virtual idol girl group I guess you could say because of them. There's this other channel, I forgot their name, they make videos on songs you might have missed for the month that just passed, and I look at those at times, and find new songs that I've never heard of before, so it's good. Like I've discovered Ikling, a Gigi who debuted in 2023 because of this channel. Another thing that I do is that I'm subbed to many big and small Korean music distribution channels, and because of that I get notified for different songs and also debuts too. Like I discovered the existence of previous a BG who debuted with OMG in 2023 because a distributor, an Oxone, a virtual idol boy group I guess you could say who are debuting soon in a few days with Designer and a co-ed group named Fairies who debuted in 2023, I believe it's their debut song with Spring Up to You. Another thing which is the final thing that I do for knowing debuts, is that since I follow many groups, I know some of their companies, and so I keep up with the group and their company, and then I find out that their company is debuting a new group. So yeah, this was all about how I keep up with group debuts of a year. Now let's move on to the solo debuts and how I keep up with them. Okay, so here's how I keep up with almost all the solo debuts. I always miss out quite a few, because there are a lot of debuts that happen. Similar to groups, I look at K-pop wikis, K-pop debuts of insert year here, lists, and look at the upcoming or announced debuts of soloists. I also look at the K-Indie Wiki, because as I said previously, I realized that it exists and since I don't only rank K-pop debuts, but other debuts as well, so it's helpful. I also look at K-profiles, because once you scroll to the end of an artist's profile before the comments, there's always recommendations for other artists' profiles, and I always look at the soloists' recommended profiles to see if they debuted in the same year as the debuts I'm looking for, debuted years ago or are upcoming, will debut soon or are expected to debut. Another thing that I do is that as I said previously that I'm subbed to many different music distribution channels, so because of that I'm always getting recommended new songs from soloists I've never heard about or soloists that I follow, and because of that I find out that some of these soloists' songs are debuts, like for example I found Yane, not former Lovely's member, but a male soloist's 2022 debut, Yua's 2023 debut and Rene's 2022 debut because of distributors. The last and another thing which is a simple most obvious thing that I do is looking at K-tube channels because there are known or popular idol K-pop debuts happening that IDK about. Or idols who've released solo songs and IDK if they're the debuts of the idol or their comeback or what. So these K-tubers are really helpful to me for the K-pop solo debuts of idols who are from popular groups or well-known underrated groups or something, but since I don't stan a lot of groups yet and since I'm subbed to many different musicians of different languages, I sometimes forget the debuts happened or are going to happen, or I get recommended the debut, know it happened but then forget about it if I don't have it saved on my debuts list.